Hello everyone and welcome back to the Get Media Lit YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about the importance of media. First, we're going to ask the question, what is media? Then we're going to look at the positives, then the negatives, who's to judge for both of those, and what media can do for us moving forward. So first, the most important question is, what is media? Media is the communication of news, music, movies, education, and advertisements. Media includes, but isn't limited to newspapers, magazines, television, radio, and the internet. In our everyday lives, we see media everywhere. Not only is it in the newspapers, on TV, in magazines that we see even at the grocery store and in libraries, but it's on the radio that we listen to, the music we listen to, and on the internet that we use all the time. The positives of that. The positives of media are plentiful. That's for certain. But what you need to know is that media is accessible all over the world. It's accessible on your phones. It's accessible, again, through your speakers with the radio and on TV. But you also should know that it's educational. Media can be used in school settings. It can be used to learn more about your everyday lives and things around you, such as the government, things like the virus that we're seeing right now, and little things to help you understand the world around us. Also, the positives of media is that it's fun. You can use the media for things that you like, so all of the TV shows that you like, the music that you enjoy, and this also isn't limited. It can also be video games. All of the games that you like to play, talking to your friends, and being able to see friends and family even online. The negatives. It's important to note that the negatives also can outweigh the positives. The negatives about media is that not everything we see online is true. That means it's not factual. So the things that you see in magazines, on TV, hear on the radio, read on the internet, and see in the newspapers doesn't mean that it's automatically true. Because media is so accessible in our everyday lives, it's easy to think that we should be able to trust it. But that's not the case. There's a reason why we need to do fact checks and be able to look at different sources of media and be able to look at the credible sources. Only certain things are credible, especially on the internet, because there are so many different sources and there are different newspapers, there are different TV channels, and a lot of different magazines. You should be able to identify the credible sources from the ones that aren't. How you do this is based off of how many sources have the same information, and if sources can be edited by users. There are certain websites that you can edit, or this means change to make it so it's not true. Also, the media isn't very private. So the things that you see on the internet, such as Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, the social media apps that you use don't always require a lot of privacy. Your profiles can be public, your locations can be public, and it all depends on how much you decide to share. That being said, the negatives can be really overwhelming. It's important to use media in a certain way that won't overwhelm you, but also will help you. Now, who's to judge whether it's positive or negative? It depends on the purpose. There are some things where you know aren't true, right? Like certain things on TV. They may not be true, but it's for the enjoyment of the viewer. This can be anything from saying a joke or saying something completely outrageous, like the sky is green, right? So that's something that isn't true, and it is spreading a lie about the sky being blue, right? And so to move forward from that, it solely depends on the purpose. So if you are watching TV and it's your favorite TV show and they make a joke that the sky is green, you know that that's not true. But if you were to see that same thing on an article on the internet for your school project, you know that that's not true and it can be negative. So, going from that, you need to ensure credibility. Credibility is to mean that something is credible. It's factual, it's right, it's absolutely true. In order to do that, you have to be able to condition yourself in the media and be comfortable using the media to be able to ensure the credibility that what you're reading is true. It's important to be able to tell the difference between a joke and something that is supposed to be educational. So, moving forward in media, knowing that we have access to media at all times is something that is really important to focus on. Media is so prevalent and so important to us both educationally and personally that we need to look at ways where moving forward but in the right direction. So, that being said, it's important to be safe and responsible when using the media. That means not sharing your location, full information about yourself, and things of personal information about you, your loved ones, your friends, and things that you really enjoy doing that it should be more personal. But this also means that you shouldn't be posting things that you know aren't true at the expense of someone else. Media is important and it has many positives, from being able to connect us with our friends and family around the world, to be able to educate us in certain ways that books just don't do anymore, and to be able to make learning a lot more fun. Using media in the future is going to be something that we're going to see all the time. Media is not going anywhere. So, that being said, when looking at the internet, TV, radio, magazines, and newspapers, that it should be looked at as something that's fun, it's enjoyable, but also it can be used as a tool. Media is both a tool and a toy in some cases, but it's important to know the difference between both of those. I hope this helps as you look at media moving forward and what it can do for you and how important it is. Thanks so much.